To you, my fellow great mind, my listener, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about the power of death. Death as in die, death. I want to talk about the transforming power of death. I want to remind us of the capacity for death to transform us into something. Now, I'm going to sing a Christian song. So, if you're not a Christian, please, I do not intend to offend your sensitivity. But what I want you to look at is the content of the song or the meaning that I'm trying to interpret, not the song itself or as relating to Jesus. Now, the song goes like this. It says, "My soul magnifies the Lord. My spirit praise his name. For death could not hold him captive, even in the grave. Jesus is Lord. Even in the grave, Jesus is Lord." Now, the point or the important thing I want us to take into consideration here is, my soul magnifies the Lord. Now, we're humans. In him we live, move, and have our being. Am I right? That means we live inside of God. That is, like the whole universe is inside of God, just as our blood cells is inside of us. Now, if we live inside of God, how can you magnify God? Can you make him bigger? Can your blood cell make you as a person bigger? No. Rather, it is you that can make your blood cell bigger by giving that blood cell what it needs, the right nutrients and drink or water or something. Now, we cannot make God bigger than he is because God created the universe. We can't even convert one sand to another thing, come to talk of making God bigger. But we can make God bigger in our lives. What do I mean? My soul magnifies the Lord. You magnify the Lord in your heart. Magnification means increasing, blowing up. It's just like you have the electronic microscope, that when you take a cell that is as tiny as almost invisible, you put it under the magnifying glass, it magnifies it over 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 times. And so you're able to see that atom or bacteria or virus and study it the way you want. So also you magnify the Lord within you by blossoming what is within you. By blossoming the best that is within you. Now, for the best that is within you to come out, there are steps to that path. Now, I want you to look at the flower. The flowers, the normal flowers you see, or the rose flower you see on the street or on your garden. Now, the rose flower is a very gentle flower. Very, very gentle. But the sun beats the rose flower. The weather, the rain beats it. If the wind is blowing, it will show the flower pepper. Now, the elements, the weather elements, heap their anger or whatever on this flower. But at the end of the day, the flower still blossoms. And when the flower blossoms, it's so beautiful. Now, life is a bed of roses, but not without thorns. In life, we look towards the rose of life, not the thorns. Nobody plants a rose flower for the thorns. Everybody plants a rose flower for the rose, for the beauty of the rose. That's why even in churches, we pluck flowers and we put them on the altar, because it symbolizes a lot of spiritual, noble values and qualities. So, Even in the grave, Jesus is Lord. What do we mean? What is the grave? The grave symbolizes death. And the English word death came from a word that means change. When something dies, it changes. That's why when a fish rottens, maggot comes out of it. When a fruit rottens, maggot comes. Even human beings, when we die, we rot. And maggot comes out. That change, we change into something else. And at the end of the day, if for communities or areas where people are cremated, changes to ash. Or it changes to the dust. Dust to dust. So, even in the grave, Jesus is Lord. Transformation comes through experience in the school of life. The experience you have been exposed to is designed to transform you, to mold you, to bring out the rose within you. Human beings complain a lot when the sun is shining. Oh, why is the weather so hot? Why is it blah, 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 blah. If it starts raining every day, say, oh, why is it raining every day? I can't go out now. That sometimes I tell myself, if I were God, wow, I don't know, because humans are difficult to manage. You do this one, no. You do this one, is too much. Look at women. They will use razor blade, scrape off their eyelid, carry eye pencil, draw another one. You give them nails, they will remove it. Put the one that is like winch. People are doing butt expansion or whatever it's called. The bobby udomik. They will put whatever and increase the size. So we're doing a lot of things. So, but the point is, life is a bed of roses, but not without thorns. And the rose of life blossoms from the thorns that you experience. Because the truth is, if you look at the rose flower, those thorns are protecting it from passerbys. Because sometimes people play with rose flowers. There are people who don't even understand or appreciate the beauty of a rose flower. They just pluck it and throw it away. I have rose flowers in my garden, by the street, outside my fence. You see some children, even adults, sometimes they just pluck it. When they pluck the rose flower, they just, as they are walking on the street there, they are peeling, they are removing the petals one after the other and throwing it away as they are walking. Now, this shows this person doesn't value this rose. Because if you value a rose flower, when you pluck it, you give it to somebody as a gift. Not to mutilate the flower. So, even in the grave, Jesus is Lord. The grave symbolizes those experiences that makes you, those bitter experiences that you say, oh God, why me? But those are the experiences that are meant to teach you, to blossom you, to make you become better. So you can magnify the Lord by building on your experience in life and becoming better, greater, than who you are. Be fruitful and multiply. Yes, the Bible says so. Be fruitful and multiply. Multiplication doesn't mean borning 100 children. No. Multiplication has to do with reproducing yourself as a leader in other people. So, even in the grave, there is strength. Even in the midst of your challenges, there is strength. You can become greater, you can become better, and you can excel beyond your wildest dream. Great you are, and greater things shall you achieve. But let the transforming power of death through various experiences be handled properly. I believe in you, and I believe you can magnify the Lord. Thank you for listening. Cheers. To you, my fellow great mind, my listener, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about the power of death